For the purposes of this lesson, we're going to strip our main.js down to just import app from app, since we're going to be doing our rendering directly from our app.js. We can pass values into our component using something called props or properties, and this is going to look a lot like passing an attribute or setting an attribute on a standard HTML element. So here I've got an attribute or a prop called text. I'm going to pass in this is the props text. Now, the way we access that from within our component is by interpolating this value with curly brackets, and we say this dot props dot whatever the name of the prop is. So in our case, it's txt for text. Save that, and on the right here, we get our this is the props text. Now, outside of JSX, we don't need to interpolate that, so I'm going to set a variable here called text to this props.text. Then we'll go ahead and use that in our JSX as just text. I'm going to go ahead and update this to value just so we can see it happen on the page. And now we've got our this is the props value. We can also define the property types that we're expecting by adding a property to our component called prop types. And that's just going to be an object where each key of the object is the name of our property. And then we pass in the type from React that we're expecting. So in this case, React.proptypes.string means we are expecting a string here. I'm going to create one more called cat. That's going to be a React prop type of number. Now when I save this, this is going to work just fine. However, on any of these prop types, we can tack on is required. And sorry, that should be a capital R. Is required defines that this is a required property. So if I save this, we're going to get an error here that the required prop of cat was not specified in app. So here in our app component, I'm going to say cat equals 5. Save that, and now everything's working as we expected. We can also define default properties, again, by setting a property on our class component here where it's going to be default props. Again, it's going to be an object, and it follows basically the same pattern. The key is the name of our property, and then the value that follows that is the default value for that prop. So I'll say this is the default text here. I'm going to save that, and on the right, what you'll see is that the property that we passed in is actually overriding that. So if we save it, we should get our default property value.